Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the Shrewsbury Biscuit. I'm joining you today from the Sabrina Boat, and I'm with Dilwyn. How's it going, Dilwyn? You alright?
Yeah, very good. Thank you.
Dilwyn.
Dilwyn.
Yeah. I never know with names. I'm useless. I mean, I get it all the time as well. I get Whiteley.
Oh man, I get called all sorts of names. I certainly did when I was a youngster.
I got a friend back in Wrexham called Delwyn. He's like, he'd hate to be called Delwyn. Del. So thank you very much, by the way, for letting us come on the boat today and doing this podcast. It's such a cool thing being able to set up on the boat and go through Shrewsbury while we're doing this podcast.
Yeah,
how magical.
I'm biased, but I mean we're super lucky, aren't we? It's lovely part of Shrewsbury, isn't it? And it just goes around the whole town. You know, I love it. I love my job, really, so it's good.
Yeah, this is one of the things I always ask people that do special things like this, and it's not meant as an insult, but more of an insight, really. But can you ever get bored of this? Can you always? Because it's you're up and down the river, how many times a day?
Yeah, I mean, when I first started, I was on the boat a lot more. So, I was on all the evenings with the parties, the private hires, the theme nights. I was also skippering as well. But I guess you know what it's like when you run a business. There's quite a lot of sort of behind the scenes.
You've got to have a bit of you time.
Yeah, and I sit in the office probably more than I'd like to. So that. So I am on the boat, every other day probably, but not quite as much.
Imagine when you first started, it's like, I am the captain of the ship.
Oh man, I was, yeah. And we used to, I used to bring my friends on after work and stuff, and they used to love it. It was fantastic, really, yeah.
So let's go back a bit, because obviously this doesn't just happen. What was young Dilwyn like? What did you want to be when you were younger? Did you come from Shrewsbury?
Blimey, there's a question. No, so Shropshire born and bred.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up around Clun, Bishop's Castle area. My parents got a farm there. So from there, went to university, did leisure management and business studies, which has obviously sort of fallen into what I'm doing now a little bit. So I went away for a while. I went travelling for a while. I went to London for 6-7 years, so mostly leisure, hospitality, that type of trade, really. Quite a lot of sales. And I suppose when I came back to Shrewsbury, I'd had enough of London. It was I
hear that a lot. I hear that so many people that go away to the hustle and bustle of the city just end up back here,
Well, I mean, I would, for 7 miles of a journey to work, it would take me an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And it just gets a little bit boring, that does, really. And then, obviously, I was trying to settle down with a house and family, and I just thought, you know what, I don't, trying to buy a 1-bedroom house down there is hard enough, so...
sell your soul.
Yeah, so I came back up, really, and, I started working in golf hospitality, doing weddings and over at the other side, Telford. And it's really strange how I got into this, to be honest, because it was just literally an email, a boat for sale, and I'd hardly seen it in Shrewsbury before that. And I was working with someone else on another project at the time, and we looked at it and went, "What do you think?" So we rang them up, and we had it was Chester Boats that owned it. They sort of ran it from a distance, if you like. And so at that time, we both went there the next day. We came back with a boat. The two of us at the time. My business partner, I sort of bought him out sort of 6, 7 or 8 years ago now. But it was really excited. It was just, we hadn't done anything with boats. And
kids waving at us with that. I've always wanted to do that because we do that all the time.
They feel like royalty now. So yeah, very very strange, really. And
I think that's great, though. I mean, so was this in Shrewsbury but run by the guys in Chester? Yeah.
Yes.
How long was it here for?
So it was here. So I took it on in 2010, and it had been here since 2007. So 3 years it was here. I think there was another boat before that called the River King, I think. So it was here, but it was run, I don't want to say poorly, but probably not consistent enough. It ran, if it had enough people, it ran at weekends, school holidays, but when we came in, we just went, right, it's every day, 6-7 trips a day.
This is the advertisement. I mean, I was talking to you before we hit record about this being a landmark of Shrewsbury's now. I mean, it's a moving landmark. When people are walking through the Quarry, you expect to see the Sabrina Boat walking up, and that's one of the things that I've always noticed, that it's everywhere. And so you need to have this boat running up and down the river, don't you? Really, to let people know that you're about.
Yeah, and we go out whether we've got one person or two people on, or whether we're full boat. And I think you have to be consistent, and you have to be. And it's interesting you to say it's almost like a moving landmark. It's lovely to hear that.
It is though.
Shrewsbury's
it's everywhere.
Beautiful, full of history. So to be part of something that is associated with Shrewsbury is great, really.
I think it's up there with a dingle, with one of the most photographed things in Shrewsbury. I used to ask people for the love of Shrewsbury, so thank you very much to those guys. Big shout out to the guys there. And I used to ask them for photographs, so I can use them as pod art for my stuff. And every week I'd get like 3 or 4 of the Sabrina.
Excellent. Thank you, Lorraine.
Lorraine's awesome, isn't she?
Yes, she is.
So how were things at the beginning when you bought this boat? Then you bring this boat back, you drop it in the water, or you metaphorically speaking. How were things at the beginning?
Just worked. I lived and breathed it, really. We were on here every day, every night. It was exciting. I think that's what gave me the energy, but it was 70, 80 hours a week. It was relentless for a couple of years, and it was really run down. We've virtually rebuilt the thing. So I was constantly thinking, we need to improve this. This isn't good enough. We put a roof on in the first year. We ripped all the bar downstairs out. We muscled with the engine which kept breaking down all the time.
How big's the engine? It's got to be massive, right?
No, it's like a truck engine, really. So it's got marinisation kit on it, and it's 4-cylinder, so it's 128 brake horsepower. So it's a turbo engine.
Are the parts hard to get a hold of? I mean, boats running up and down the river isn't a huge commodity in the UK.
No, like I say, it's almost like a truck engine. It's JCB engine is.
Oh, okay.
So
that's
this one's only
enough.
2 years old now.
Okay, so I was in a weird recording while I was talking thing. I don't get to go on a boat up and down the Quarry very, very often. Well, that's always awkward. I'll pull the camera out. So
some swans for you.
Yeah, some nice swans. Huh? A boy. How's it going, boy? So this was a good project for you then. So what you started working on it, were there many frustrations? Were there things that you thought, that'll be easy, and it was just not?
Do you know what? I love a project though.
Yeah?
I really, and I almost prefer the project than when it's finished, if that makes sense. It was just an ongoing project, and I suppose I needed to be proud of it. And although Sabrina's a quirky sort of place to hire or to come in, I wanted to be like it to be nice. I wanted it to look really good and to be proud of, really. So I'm constantly battling. Right, what can I afford to do this year? How can I improve the boat this year? So I think I'm slowly getting to the end of that now. Hopefully.
Well, it looks fantastic.
Thank you.
My wife has been on a couple of times, and I will admit on the show that I haven't. This is the first time I've been on here, but it's usually because I'm so busy running around with my microphone or being a family guy or whatever. I think it's beautiful, and you've done a great job. So when you talk about this place turns into almost like a nightclub or I think corporate hire. Is that right?
Yeah, so during the day, we run 7 trips a day now. We just started doing 10 o'clock trips because of as much as anything to do with social distancing, really, getting extra people on. But so that's our day stuff. So we run 7 trips every day, and then in the evening, for instance, tonight we've got a gin tasting sort of masterclass
Is that
night.
from Gin Different?
That is from Whitley Nell.
Okay.
Who one of our suppliers. So. So they're doing tonight. We do lots of dance sort of nights, like Mamma Mia nights, Motown nights, 80s, 90s, Beatles, those sort of theme nights, where we're unable to do them at the moment until dance floors come back later in the year. But we've just done a Tanner's cheese and wine evening, so we do those sorts of things where people can buy a couple of tickets or 10 tickets, however, it's a ticket event, but we do private hire as well. So the private hire might be corporate, it might be a birthday party, might be weddings, it might be wakes. We do all sorts of stuff. Podcasts, absolutely. and they're fun. They're completely different. But people come on and almost like they feel as if they're on holiday, really, because you're on a boat and it's
especially in the summer. I mean, I look at the British landscape anyway. I'm always like these trees, these bushes that we're going past right now had a battering over the last week with the wind and the rain and stuff, but it always comes out looking beautiful. You know what I mean? So it does feel like you're in a different place, doesn't it, when it's in summer?
It's staggering, really, and we've got the Quarry part's sort of 29 acres, and it's the whole town is sort of locked by this river. It's so scenic, isn't it? And when we go the other way, which we do in the evenings, we go past the showground up towards Berwick, and that's it's just countryside. Yet you're only a mile away from town. It's quite amazing, really.
One of the best things about Shrewsbury, I think. You just. I mean, I drive to and from Telford, but you won't catch me on the M54 very often.
No,
I like that back road.
Yeah, I love
it's so sexy to drive. How do you market something like this? And because, like we said, it is a moving landmark. Does it sell itself, or is there a lot of work to do to be like, "Hello, we're here"? Like, how does that work for you?
Oh, you've got to shout about it, really. So we have. I'm very big into partnerships, working with local businesses, so hotels, B&Bs, places that visitors will land, if you know what I mean. So when you go to a hotel, you need to know about Sabrina. So we very much engage, with local businesses that way. So the day trips, normally we have about 300 coaches come on here a year.
Wow.
That takes a lot of marketing. First year we had 46. Just before COVID, we were up to about 300. So that is constant sort of mailing and marketing and all that sort of stuff. The night trips, you have to remind people that you're available as a venue, really, and all the themed evenings. It's like a ticket event, just like they could go to the Albert Shed type thing.
Yeah.
It's you have to just keep marketing, really.
Is it a case of like keeping your ear to the ground with what's going on with the bars in town as well? Because you're working with Albert Shed, do you partner up with the sort of local nightclubs, bars?
Yeah,
pubs,
I mean, we
like
do a lot. We definitely do a lot with some of the restaurants. So we put together packages. So on a Tuesday we do like a meal and cruise. We do a Sunday lunch cruise with local restaurants. So we try and partner with as many people as we can, really. The Loopy Shrew, the Alb, the Riverbank. There's endless lists, really, and I love it. I really love it because they get something added benefit for their customers, and we do as well, so
it's the Shrewsbury thing. I always say there's something in the Severn, because I mean, you are right in the Severn, but that there was something in the Severn because people do collaborate and stuff. I've gone to so many businesses and well, go speak Dilwyn and the Sabrina, and we've tried to plan this like three times. And every time the last, I was so embarrassed to come back to you because we planned once, it failed. Planned second time, it flooded.
Yes.
And speaking of the floods, let's do that. Let's talk about this. How does that affect you? I mean, obviously it kills your business and stuff, but the floods must be catastrophic for you guys.
Well, it stops us from running. That's the key part of it. I mean, we had all that exposure on national news and stuff like that, and people say, "Wow, all advertising's good." It looked like Shrewsbury was shut, and it looked like we had flooding issues, and that was the issue with something like that. I mean, when we flood, we can't run, and then we're cancelling and we're letting people down, and I always want to be super consistent, hence why I run with any amount of people on. When you're flooding, that's it. And people don't really understand about, oh right, yeah, you flooded, where did that all come from? Because you're not living and breathing it, or you're not familiar with what's happened up at Llanidloes, further upstream. Sometimes people are surprised that we are flooded. If it went up from, for instance, it went up not quite a metre in the last 2 days. And that's because of all the storms and stuff we had in Wales. So the flooding really impacts our business.
How much warning do you get if there is something coming quickly? I mean, how does that work? Because obviously the flooding is affected from further upstream in Wales. Does it work like a tidal wave? I don't know how it works, like thermal dynamics. How long does it take to sort of build up, and how much time do you get to...
You become a bit like Michael Fisher, really, or you're always looking at the weather, and then there's really good apps. Actually, the Environment Agency have got these apps that I can check at various points. So this will be Welsh Bridge in terms of Shrewsbury, and then a little bit further upstream there's a reading at Montford Bridge. Well, that water that hits there on the graph will hit me 6 hours later. Crew Green is probably about 24 hours later, and if there's flooding up above that, I'm expecting that water sort of.
So what's that like for you then? Is that battle stations? We need to go and prep the ship, or is it safe? Is it already left in a situation where if it floods, it's fine?
If it floods, it's fine. We do put extra ropes, etc. on, but I mean, we've got a super engineered pontoon. Really, Morris has built it in the millennium year 2000. At the time, I thought, God, this is over the top. But seeing all the floods every year, you just think, do you know what? I'm quite pleased that we're tied to that.
Thank you very much.
Yes. So other than that, it's just making sure you can give people as much notice as you can. Yes. Just saying, look, we're probably going to be running for the first few trips. Can you move earlier? Or, it's just trying to... it's just trying to be fair to the customers and make sure we're not messing people around as much. It's not our fault, but you've got to try and be good communicators.
How does it work with the floods then? Because I've always wondered this, by the way. This isn't for any other reason, but you tie the boat down, but obviously does the jetty sort of rise with the water, and how does the Sabrina not end up in the town square?
Be a nice marketing trick.
It would be, wouldn't it? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just anchored down and it's just not going anywhere.
So the pontoon is the support's going
the
right.
The jetty.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, same sort of thing. Yeah, it's if you like, it's engineered in such a way that all the support structure goes under Victoria Quay.
Okay.
Massive seals that go under the quay. The bridge, the pontoon itself. You got me going now. The pontoon itself is cantilevered.
Okay.
So that first ramp you come down when we're super flooded like we were earlier this year, you actually walk up that ramp. It's really strange.
Okay.
And then the boat is attached to the pontoon, and then it's just the entire thing. When you're in flood, you'll pretty much see Sabrina at street level.
Yeah.
So it's all tied together, so it's all cantilevered. So it's all super safe, really. I mean, we have damages. It damaged one of our smaller boats, our picnic boat, this year. It wrecked one of our we've got a pontoon which is temporary. That's sort of half in and half out the water up by the Shrewsbury Marine at the moment.
Yeah.
They're the sorts of things it damages because of the force.
Yeah, we've just been talking about possibly doing some biscuit stuff on that pontoon, haven't we?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, on the picnic boat. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, roadworks. You think that would be the loudest thing I'd hear today?
No.
On this boat. Thanks, guys. Working hard. So the floods were quite bad. Did it take you a while to recover from that? How does it work when you're not in business then? Because you own this boat, or is it?
I do. Yeah.
So you're losing money. Does it take a while to recover from that?
Do you know what? It's strange, really. When we have flooding, and it does these last few years, it has seemed to be a little bit more consistent. But we could miss anything from 2 days in the season.
Sorry.
No, you're busy waving. It's fine.
I am listening.
Yeah, we could lose 2 days in the season, or we could lose 30 days in the season, and it's an 8-month season from March to the end of October. Yeah. So, if it's close to 30 days, it's tough.
Yeah.
Because that takes out a chunk of your earnings, but it also you're having to move people around, and I don't like doing that, but. We're in the
inconsistency as well. You have so much consistency. You say what's what you like is to be consistent, and then to run out of routine.
It is, yeah. I mean, some of the flooding happens in the winter period when we're shut anyway. But we've had flooding in June. 17 days flooding in June. I mean, I don't know. It's not ideal, is it?
Not at all. Now let's talk about the C word. I'm very sorry to bring it up, but COVID. It's been a nightmare for a lot of people.
Right. Yeah.
And I feel like with you, it probably affects you very much indirectly as well as directly as well, because you work with so many businesses. There's probably like B&Bs, hotels, and stuff that advertise you. People that work with you as well. So I imagine there's been a lot of damage that it's just been catastrophic for everybody, hasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, some industries. Done all right out of COVID.
Food deliveries.
Yeah, absolutely, and some of the other industries as well. But hospitality and leisure has taken a real hit. And I have to say, the government have been generous with some of the grants and stuff like that. But we're break even at best. We're losing. We're lost a lot of money over these last 12 months, and it's really tough. And you're absolutely right. The support structure around me, where visitors come here,
but is
also
well.
closed.
It's symbiotic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been I'd just be glad, I just hope middle of the summer, things will become fairly normal again, because I don't think I won't be able to do another year like last year.
I keep saying, I said this at the beginning of the year, that I think 2021 is going to be the year for just celebration. I really do feel like we've still got time to do it. If I've heard that Reading Festival's coming back, and hopefully Beth Heath's going to be able to run a lot of her
she is, yeah.
That's going to be amazing. There's lots to look forward to. Getting the Quarry's been amazing when it's sunny all the time. There's always full of people. So getting back to that, I feel like there's time to play catch up, I reckon.
Yeah, I think it's and it's going in the right way. I think people are a little bit more cautious.
Very apprehensive.
Yeah, they are a little bit. And I'll be interested to see what happens, when May the 17th is quite a big date for us. There's not enough visitors around at the moment. Certainly our day trips are probably 80% visitors, really. And because all the hotels and accommodation providers aren't open yet, the campsites are. But for having a 7-day busy week, we need all those to be open as well. Really,
it's not just that though, is it? It's getting out there and telling people that we are open. They've got these great signs in Shrewsbury, which are awesome by the bit. They look great. But with hotel, I didn't even know until the other day that caravans were still. Someone of my mates was like, "Oh yeah," I think it was Andy O'Brien. It was like he's staying in a caravan, and I was like, "Oh my god, I didn't realise they were even open." It's going to be really hard to get that out there. You've got this boat. Have you still got the pirate ship?
We've sold it.
You sold the pirate ship?
Yeah.
What'd you go and do a thing like that for? That was so cool.
I know. Well, it was a bit of a difficult decision, really. I mean, we'd got 4 boats on the pontoon. We were sort of quite claustrophobic there. I think the other thing is it's an old engine. Mm-hmm. It wasn't super. I like new engines, so I can always know that I'm not going to let people down. It was an old engine. It was a dirty engine. I'm trying to do as many green things as I can. I mean, it was a bit embarrassing when it chug out all the smoke out the back. Yeah, it would. And I'd be going, "Oh my god, yeah, that's mine." So I think there was definitely a green element, but I think also I wanted to cash in on it and get some money in, really, because it's been. Financially, it's been quite a difficult period, really.
I imagine a pirate ship like that's aimed at children must be quite difficult to market. It's just that there's one market for it. Unless it's a themed party.
Yeah, we used to have hen do's and little mini stag do's and stuff like that on
really?
it. Yeah, and people just hiring it just for a bit of fun with their family, etc. But yes, largely children's parties.
Yeah.
But it's one of those, you try and make the right decisions, don't you? And unfortunately, we thought that had to go, really.
And what's next for you then? Because is this it? You're okay for now, just to kind of keep going, or have you got plans to expand?
Ooh. I think with regards to Sabrina, we're trying to maximise what we can do to try and make sure it's busy all the time. We target, things like short notice weddings, private hires and birthday parties. We've got to get people thinking and getting out again, really. Certainly this summer. So I think if we can just maximise what we do with Sabrina, we've got a little catering kiosk that's going live this weekend on Victoria Quay.
I just saw that.
So that's great. Finally got permission as a pavement licence, which came out of COVID, actually. It's something that the council brought in because of COVID, which is great. So that's ice creams.
What does this place count as? Is it indoor or outdoor?
This is outdoor.
So it's classed as outdoor?
Yeah.
That's clever.
Yeah, so we've been lucky to be open. The top deck, we can't open downstairs yet.
Yeah, of course, yeah. So you can run this as like a cafe then, basically?
Yeah, could do, yeah. But yeah, that's one little project. There's a little takeaway thing that I'm going to, opposite where our office is. Yes, at Wilco's.
I was chatting to your wife the other day. She was like, because my wife is from Colombia.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. So you're going to be making arepa, right?
Yes, that's the plan.
I nearly swore then. I love arepas. It's so good. It's such good food. Where did that come from?
Well, that is so. The chef that I work with to do the catering on here for the private hires and stuff, he's a chef, and his wife is from Venezuela.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Cool. And we've been looking at maybe trying to do some sort of takeaway thing, because I've got a commercial kitchen there. I just need to change the front next to where my office is. and we were just brainstorming over a glass of wine, and that popped up, and we tried the food. We tried the food earlier this year, and it was just this is good. This is really good, and it's a bit different.
It is. I call it the Colombian version of crumpets, because you can do it's one of those things you can have in the morning. You can have it sweet, you can have it with cheese, you can have it whatever you want to do with it. It's
gluten free.
Yes, it's corn powered.
Yeah.
So corn flour. Yeah.
So my wife told you about that.
Yeah, she was
Good job that wasn't a secret, wasn't it?
Yeah. I hope I haven't got her into trouble. She told me because my wife being from Colombia, she thought I might appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. So that's hopefully if we can get the planning sorted for that. That's something else.
Well, you got testers right here that will tell you straight up whether it's good or not.
Excellent. Right. Well, as soon as we're up and running,
my wife is definitely we got quite a large size South American community here in Shrewsbury. Actually, friends and family. Yeah. So you might do quite well.
Good.
Yeah. I'll certainly tell everybody about it anyway.
Yeah. Thank you.
So when does that plan to go live then? When do you try?
I didn't realise there is obviously a planning process to change the frontage a little bit. So soon we want to get it up and running before the summer, really, before we kick off, before everything opens again. Ideally.
Summer, yeah.
Yes.
That's been great for it. Okay, so if somebody's listening to it, we do get listeners all around the world, believe it or not, do we?
Wow, nice.
So let's tell people about the experience, what happens when you come on Sabrina for the first time. What do people expect when they come on the boat?
Well, I think what we do is sort of twofold, really. The day trips are very different to the evening trips. So if it's for a day trip, if you're not familiar with Shrewsbury, I think we're very lucky that the river goes all the way around town centre. So basically, they come on. There'll be table service, and we've got a good menu. Wines, hot drinks, soft drinks, snacks, all that sort of stuff. It's always always has been table service. It's the first thing I introduced when I came on here, because I used to send people downstairs and it used to be a mug of tea or whatever. But like so you can
the
see,
coffee is fantastic, by the way.
So we like nice cafetières and china, etc. So they're looked after on the way down. They just chill and have their drinks, etc. And then on the way back on a day trip, the skipper will tell them things about Shrewsbury. And because we sort of go around in a loop, you get to see all the sights. So it's quite a lazy way to see the town, really.
It's a lovely way to see the town, because I walk for the Quarry so many times. This boat is so smooth when it moves; it just sort of glides along. I never realised, because I've never been on here before. It's just a nice way to look at things. And there's this Charlie Adlard's house, I think.
One of them is, that one is the one that's built. They're building the second one now.
Yeah,
I believe if you got about 4 million, you could buy that one.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll think
about it.
They're quite green. They're eco houses, but 4 million.
Yeah, nice.
Just see how you get on.
How much work did you guys have to do learning the history?
I found that was really interesting, actually. When we took it on from Chester, they had various bits of bullet points, etc. But then we got involved with some of the town guides, Stan Stedman being one.
Amazing guy. Shout out Stan.
Oh, he's amazing. He really is brilliant. But people like Martin Wood as well, another fantastic guy. Maggie, we spoke to them all, really.
Maggie's awesome.
And got as much information as we can, and and then the skippers will learn it in their own way. So all I'll do is put all the facts there, and they'll put their own slant on it, on what they want to say.
Did you get many? Actually, I think you'll find. Do you get any of that? I bet not.
You do get a bit. You get more extra questions, which might be something that we don't know. But usually what I do then, I take down their details, and within a day I'll get back to them. And if I can't find that out online, etc., I'll contact someone because that's a nice thing to do, because no one really thinks you're going to do that.
Yeah.
So it's lovely to surprise someone that's away from town and go, just ring from Shrewsbury. That question you asked me, this is the answer. And they're like going, wow, thank you. And and that's the sort of thing that brings people back to Shrewsbury, isn't it? And that's what it's all about, isn't it?
It's all about having new experiences, isn't it? It's something that you can go back to, something that you're comfortable going back to, whether it's food, whether it's an experience like this. We're back at Prison Break in the prison, because I do that as well.
Yes, fabulous.
We got a rehearsal this weekend, and then we're back this month, I think. Touristy places, I always hate tourist traps, but Shrewsbury's very good at just being like, it's a special event, it's not a tourist trap. place. This is a nice thing to do. Do you know what I mean? Whereas in, when you go on holidays, there's queues of people with their phones, and it doesn't have a nice feel. Whereas this, it's very nice. I like it.
Thank you.
What are you excited for the most of summer?
Oh, what am I excited for? A bit of normality. I'm in this industry because I like people. I like hospitality, and it's been really hard. I found this winter really hard, actually.
A few people have said that that lockdown was harder during the winter than it was earlier in the year, or the year before, with in the summer, because obviously you can't go out as much. It's windy, miserable, grey.
Yeah, I mean, when the COVID first happened, I mean, we had 3 months of beautiful weather, and I was caught because I was thinking, oh man, I should be cleaning up now. I should be really busy. This is great, but we're all sat at home. But it did allow us to be in the gardens. If we're lucky enough to have gardens, it was just fabulous, wasn't it? And so that was very, very different. When it came to the winter, we're all a bit surprised it's still there, and very much still there. And it's just not as exciting, is it, when you're just stuck indoors?
And this summer as well, I've got to say, is taking the mick a bit. I've got to say, last year was glorious, wasn't it? It was almost like too good to be true, and then the tail end of it, we get this really cold spring that we've had, with the odd good day.
But that could be a good thing.
Yeah,
that could be a good thing, because people aren't really about it yet. So if we could just
very intense summer, I imagine.
Turn the heat up in about 2 or 3 weeks' time. That'd be fine.
The same month, everybody's going to be like, right, out we go.
It is. I do think places like Shrewsbury are just going to be quite popular. Retail has definitely changed, obviously, but Shrewsbury's got lots of independent sort of places. It's got its history, its charm. I think somewhere small like Shrewsbury, it's just going to do all right. Do you want to go out in Birmingham or Manchester, or do you want something that... No, you go and crack on. Yeah. Or do you prefer something slightly smaller and green and open like Shrewsbury? I think when we do come back, I think it is going to be mental.
Yeah, I feel like that. This is why I think it's going to be so intense, because we're going to get I don't know what, 8 weeks max of really good weather, and everybody's just going to go mental. It's going to be great, and you can't really go abroad at the moment. So, like you said, staycations, come to Shrewsbury, go and get a caravan.
And I'm involved with a bit. I sit on the bid board and Shrewsbury Tourism. I like to do these sorts of bits and bobs. But the bidder, they're brilliant. They're a great organisation to be part of. And it's just about making sure that experience feels safe in this environment, but really welcoming, real friendly, nice buzz.
Well, that kind of cafe scene that we had last year with all the tables out and stuff is
it's amazing, wasn't it?
So beautiful, so amazing. It's starting to sort of come back now. I went sat at Daily Brews in the town square before I came here. I was working on the laptop, and it was freezing. I was going like, I can't wait for the sun to get here.
It is cold, yeah.
I'd like to tell you about something that we've got planned as well, Dilwyn. We've got this 24-hour podcast sort of challenge that we're going to be doing in September.
Wow.
We've had the green light. We're going to be doing it for trying to raise as much money as we can for Lincoln Davis. I'm telling you so I can tell the listeners.
Yes.
It's an idea that I had because last year we had International Podcast Day, and I hadn't planned anything for it, and I thought, wow, I should probably do something. So this year I am planning to do a complete live 24-hour long podcast. I spoke to the guys from International Podcast Day that organise it in LA. They're very excited about what we're doing. They want to come on our show.
Wow.
Lincoln Davis are 100% down for us doing it. I wanted to ask permission first. I can't just be like, I'm making money for it,
Amazing charity that day.
I love them so much. And they did ask me, they said, why Lincoln Davis? And I was like, well, because I just, whenever I think of a Shrewsbury-based charity, there are others, obviously, Shropshire Cat Rescue and so many amazing charities. But when I first think of like Shrewsbury charities, that's one thing that comes to mind is Lincoln Davis. And the idea is to encourage people to get out there and do good things. I mean, with this microphone, and the resources I've gathered over the years internationally with both the Biscuit and USUC, the other network I've got, we can do some good things. So all around the world, I can bring all these people into one place and funnel all of that goodwill into one place locally. If you can go around if anybody listening to this wants to pick up a microphone and do something similar, what's the harm? What's the wrong?
I couldn't agree more, and I think you're right. And I think COVID has shown that as well. There's an immense amount of goodwill out there.
Yes,
immense.
Yes,
and I think it's great, and what a way to do it. I mean, fair play to you.
It's going to be hard.
Yeah,
we're looking. I'm not going to lie. We're looking for a venue, so we're looking for venues to sit. I need somewhere I can sit for 24 hours and it'd be okay. Good bandwidth as well is going to be, because I don't want to. You
can always come here, no problem at all.
Oh, that'd be great. Is there Wi-Fi here?
That might be the sticky point.
Well, I mean, we're looking for somewhere we can do that, and we're looking for we're going to do 2 auctions. So we're going to do a live auction, hopefully on the biscuit side. So we're going to do 12 hours of Shrewsbury Biscuit, and then when it gets to 9 p.m, we're going to sort of dim the lights a bit and become USUC, a bit like what Comic Relief do. They sort of like dim the lights a bit, and the jokes get a bit more blue. That's kind of what we're going to do. Not too blue though, it'll be fine. And so we're going to have the biscuit side of things. We're going to have 1 live auction, and then for USUC we're going to get things that we can sort of auction off or internationally, sort of like things that could probably be sent out in the post, online things, whereas the biscuit auction is going to be things that are local to the UK. You know what I mean? So we're going to be asking for donations. There is an opportunity to for 24 businesses to get involved and offer a donation and have their logo put on the screen for the hour-long shows. We're selling like hour-long slots of just to raise money for charity. It's all going to go to Ling and Davis. So if you'd like to get involved and you want to be a part of this, please drop me an email, which is shrewsburybiscuitpodcast@gmail.com.
Well, I for one want to get involved. So
that'd be nice.
Just let me know.
Yeah, that'd be really good. It's just something I'm very passionate about, because I've never really done anything for charity with this before. I didn't think I'd get anybody. I thought I'd organise things and people just wouldn't come, and it's all about being confident about what you're doing, right?
It is, yeah, and I think, like I say, I mean, there's a lot of goodwill out there, and sometimes people just need the vehicle, to help, So if you're doing that and people can help out, I think it'll get really good support.
I did see as well, moving back to you, not long ago, it was everywhere, where you guys picked the boat up out the water and you had people come and help clean the bottom of the boat.
It's one of those days I don't enjoy. Well, when, for instance, there's a lot of things out of my hat. I've got to do it every other year. I've got another inspection next week. I have 2 inspections every single year, and every other year the boat's got to come out for all the ultrasound, and they check all the prop and the rudder and all the thicknesses, if you like, of the steel. So for me, it's quite stressful. I don't mind the actual lift side of it. It's an expensive day for me,
I imagine.
But I cancelled it 4 times because of flooding. And then the winds have got to be under 20 mile an hour, which sounds
makes sense.
Which doesn't sound much, but we had 20 mile an hour winds, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, so it's just one of those things that perhaps I'm a bit of a control freak, but it's very difficult to plan it. When you've got a crane that costs you thousands of pounds, and there's 24 staff that you have to, and different engineers, etc., and the MCA, the governing body. It's just one of those things that it's quite a lot of work pulling it together.
It's not always plain sailing.
No. There you go. But no, one thing it raises awareness, and we try and do it just before the season, because it's almost like Sabrina's back.
Yeah.
And some of the local press and stuff like that are always very supportive. So it's good for PR, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. You were everywhere. You are. I want to say thank you for doing this today. Letting me come on the boat and stuff. It's been a beautiful day. I've been dying to do this for like we said before. It's like the 3rd time we've organised this and we got it to go today. But I'm really glad we've done this. And
no worries.
And also thank you for offering us the pontoon as well. I want to do an open studios on the river. That would be amazing. How
Brilliant.
Cool would that be?
Yeah, I think you just let me know. That picnic boat will be perfect for it. You can sit around a table. You can walk around if you have to, and you just go anywhere you want. I'll supply a skipper. You do your thing. Oh,
brilliant! That'd be amazing. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to? Shout out to your skippers or all the people that work on the boats and stuff.
I'm super lucky. I've got a real nice team, and I think if you want your business to do all right, that's pivotal, isn't it? So I can shout out to my team really. Then Megan, my wife, puts up with all the variables of having a boat business as well. So I better say thank you to her as well.
Yeah, she's awesome.
But a big thank you to the support I get from the town for the businesses as well, and things like the beard and Shrewsbury tourism. You need all that to survive, don't you?
Of course. It's pivotal of what makes Shrewsbury. I think it's really important how everybody sort of works together, and it's true, man. Getting new businesses that are open, and they're not like, ugh. They're welcomed with open arms. People kind of really enjoy that community aspect of things. You don't get that in many places. I mean, I was walking through where was it, Wrexham, not long ago, and it's just a ghost town. It's a ghost town. I think they're trying to sort of bring things back, but you need that community aspect behind it, otherwise it's not going to work.
Yeah, and Shrewsbury has got that, and we're just super lucky, aren't we? We're steeped with history, so whatever changes, shopping habits and stuff like that, Shrewsbury's got charm, history. It's quirky.
The Sabrina Boat.
The Sabrina standard, of course. But no, I'm hoping we come back pretty strong. You'll have to book your 30th birthday on there.
Yeah. I like that.
Is that about right?
35th.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
So you can book
nice party. Yeah.
How could I get in touch with you to book my 35th birthday?
Wow.
Yeah?
We have a website. Or on Facebook or Twitter or all those platforms. But yeah, sabrinaboat.co.uk. Or just, we're opposite. Our office is based opposite Wilco's. There's a little blue office there next to Music Brothers. So that's 7 days a week. So you can either call us 01743 369 741. Was I allowed to do that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Please do, yeah.
Or our website, obviously. And and this is the thing at the moment. We're starting with nothing this season. That's the difference this year. But it's picking up nicely, and the phones are going now. So we want people to book their parties and come and support us. Yeah,
it's crazy how quick things move. I mean, I thought I was missing out on everything. I thought because everything was so. I think everybody just got their head down and started planning stuff around Shrewsbury.
Yes,
the events and stuff. And I was kind of like, what's going on? Like, and then all of a sudden, I've got this and that, and this. We've got like so many things that we can go to, which I'm so excited for because we were meant to do that last year, and we couldn't. So we're really excited. It's gonna flourish. Thank you so much again for doing this. I want to tell you guys as well about our website. Please go to the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast.co.uk. That's where we're at, and that's made for us by our friends at Web Orchard. If you need a website, make sure you go see Web Orchard. Of course, we've got the 24-hour podcast challenge. I'm going to try and get a website together for that, just for that, so we can keep your ear to the ground. We will let you know what's going on with that. Also, I'm on the radio now. I've got a radio show. It's called Naughty Talk. Noughtie, as in naughties, as in we're going to play naughties music, and it's every Thursday.
Wow.
Every Thursday between 8 and 10, and you can catch that on splashdamageradio.co.uk. There's an app called Zeno, Zeno. You can download that app and you can subscribe to Splash Damage, and you can tune into my show. It's fun. It's just a guy pushing buttons and twiddling knobs and not trying to break things.
Yeah, fabulous. Yeah. It's amazing, really, isn't it? You've done a lot in 4 years, you say. No, it's brilliant, isn't it?
I love what we do. Honestly, I found my niche, my thing that I'm good at. I just wish it paid more. One day maybe, but
yeah.
But it's not for that. It's for things like this. It's for the community. It's for the conversation, really. Especially with you, Suck. We've got those American people. Although, thank you very much. I love the coffee here, by the way. The coffee's great, so thank you. Yeah. It's that international community thing. Bringing people together is the only reason I do what I do. It's not about me or how much money I earn. It's the satisfaction I get from that.
Well, the Shrewsbury Biscuit has also been it's quite integral to the town as well. You're saying about Sabrina it's very much like that. Everyone's heard about the Shrewsbury Biscuit, so it's good, isn't it?
I really do enjoy it, and thank you for today. This has been great. Thank you, Skipper. Thank you for that. Give me a thumbs up.
Excellent.
Right, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. We'll catch you guys next time, and thank you.
Thank you, Alex.
I've said thank you about a million times because I am genuinely really grateful. So this has been great.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Peace out.